We have an update now on a story we first brought you last night about what police are calling a random act of violence.
They say a 13-year-old girl was kidnapped and assaulted by a man who grabbed her from a parking lot across the street from her home in Auburn. News Center Maine's Sean Stackhouse is there tonight. Sean, have you learned any more about what happened?
Yes, Pat and Amanda, Auburn's police chief tells me that the victim was just simply across the street from her home where she would often go to work on sketches. That's where police say she was abducted by someone she had never met.
Auburn is a very safe city, always has been. However, we can't predict these random acts of violence that do happen.
An uncommon crime in a typically safe area. Police say this week a 13-year-old was approached while sitting across the street from her Minot Avenue home and abducted. Authorities say at the time she was on the phone with a friend.
Based on how the call ended, the friend was concerned enough to call the parents to let them know what happened. So the parents went immediately across the street, saw the damaged phone, and then called us.
Police arriving on scene shortly before 8:30 Monday night. They used security camera footage to identify a black Volvo that drove through the lot.
We had really good surveillance video from the business, and we broadcast that description to our officers. The officers had a chance to see that video, and it was pure luck.
More than 5 hours after police were first notified, that car was spotted by an officer on Minot Avenue.
I was able to conduct a traffic stop with that vehicle and found her in the vehicle. The male was taken immediately into custody.
Police arrested 24-year-old Razel Gavin of Auburn. He's now facing charges including assault, sexual assault, and kidnapping. The victim was taken to the hospital where she was reunited with family. She reported to police that she was forced to get into Gavin's car after being threatened with a gun and assaulted, and says additional assaults took place that evening. As far as police know, the victim had no connection to Gavin.
In my 27 years, this is one of the only times I've heard of this type of crime. Usually there's some kind of nexus between suspect and victim. However, in this case, there's no nexus whatsoever.
A court clerk tells me that Gavin did make his initial court appearance at Lewiston District Court earlier today. And Auburn police are expected to continue its investigation into this incident in conducting more interviews as well. And they do say that additional charges may be filed. Amanda?
All right, Sean Stackhouse live in Auburn. Thank you, Sean.